Satu.
Hi guys, so my name is Annisa Ainul Azizah, with student number 123242127, with my friend Yossi.
Okay, so me, Yossi Shalom Tamtalahitu, my student number is 123 24 11 39.
So we're gonna talk about the analysis of the article titled "The Great Gatsby: An Analysis of Cultural Representation in Literature and Film."
So, basically this article analyzes a literary work, The Great Gatsby, by exploring the cultural characteristics of the jazz age or jazz era as depicted in the Scott Fitzgerald's 1925 novel and movies adaptation. This media and communication research article was released in 2024 by the Glasgow Scientific Press in Canada. It focuses on how the both version, The Great Gatsby, highlight the social dynamics and the value of 19th, 20th century in America, so it is especially between middle and upper class society. So next.
So there are some key cultural concepts that are used to analyze the object, such as the first, materialistic culture, where financial success and position were prioritized over ethnic. It underlines symbols of wealth, such as the divide between old money and new money, as well as the luxuries mentioned in costumes. The second is hegemonic culture, which is reflected in the geographical separation of the characters and the vast curiousness on the privilege. And then the American dream, which explores the J. Gatsby's pursuit of success and love as a representation of the American dream, concludes that his eventual downfall symbolized the illusory and disillusioned nature of his deal, and the portrayal of women, such as female characters like Daisy and Jordan Baker, noting that even though women in that era gained more social freedom in the 1920s, they remained largely constrained by society expectation and subordinate to men. And the last is racist ideology, even though it's not a central theme of the movie in the paper, identified the persistence of racial prejudice and white supremacy to the character of Tom, which is not only superior because of his wealth, but also from his inherent superiority of his race. So overall, the article concludes that The Great Gatsby remains a crucial text for understanding the social dynamic of the 1920s by examining these cultural traits.
So
For
for
the,
the
for the analysis,
So for the first analysis, there are some strengths regarding how this articles analyzes the story. The first is the article is built on the robust theoretical foundation. It employs cultural hegemony, materialistic framework, and even historical context to explain how the wealthy elite maintain control through manufacture consent, and explain why characteristic values position over ethics. So next, the second major strength in the comparative analysis between F. Scott Fitzgerald's prose and the Baz Luhrmann's 2013 film between the visual language and the symbolic transition. Fu argues that the film's success depends on the production design, showing how the Luhrmann uses the crystal chandeliers and expensive jewelry to bring the jazz age to life. Next, and
and for the next strength, this article provides exceptional structural clarity by organizing the era into specific cultural pillars such as the geographical symbolism, the class hierarchy, and socio-spatial mapping, which help the reader understand that the class conflict isn't just about money, but it's also about the origin and social standing. The last strength is this article offers a nuanced critique of the American dream, portrayed by the persistence versus reality, and the tragic end that describes the American dream is often an illusory deal that hides social justice behind a mask of prosperity. Next, for the limitation.
Limitations. So, despite these strengths we have to mention, the article has some limitations, particularly, and then it's narrow focus on a single film adaptation. The most prominent limitation is the article heavy reliance on a single modern film adaptation. Although the article aims to analyze film adaptation, it uses only the 2013 Best Allurements versions as its primary sample, missing the opportunity to compare how different decades have reinterpreted, reinterpreted these cultures' themes. For, for, furthermore, the discussion of the racist ideology is somewhat under, underdeveloped as it is the confined mainly to the character of Tom Buchanan rather than exploring broader systematic uses of the 1920s. The portrayal of the female characters like Daisy and Jordan also remains the fairly traditional, which tends to overshadow a no, a deeper analysis of the systematic gender, the constraints that restrict their autonomy and to force them to conform to the standards of the upper class patriarchy. Next and application.
Stabilizing the implication of Jiayuan's analysis requires looking at how the article treats historical literary themes with modern cinematic storytelling. One significant implication is the shift toward the visual theory in academic discourse. By analyzing past Luhrmann production design, the article implies that elements like crystal chandeliers and expensive jewelry as a visual language that communicates complex ideologies such as the emptiness of materialism. Moreover, the study deconstructs the meritocratic myth of the American dream by highlighting the geographical discrimination between East Egg and West Egg. This article implies that success is often dictated by fortune, birth, circumstance, rather than individual hard work of one financial achievement. Finally, this article highlights the persistence of systematic constraint regarding gender and race. The portrayal of women as accessories and the presence of Tom entrance racist attitude imply that the era's prosperity was built on a foundation of exclusion. So that's all a breakdown of the analysis, the article from us, and about for my personal insights. This paper provides a dual medium analysis of the Great Gatsby itself, revealing that beneath the Jazz Age, the glamorous lies culture of impatience, emptiness, and ruthlessness, reinforcing the disconstruction of the American dream, which is often illusory and disillusioning. This study also implies that social identity during that era was a subordinate construction, particularly for marginalized groups. While the paper is strong in its analysis of class, it offers a more limited reflection on gender and race. How about you, Yoshi? Do you have any opinion about this paper?
Okay. So I have reflection. This is based on my opinion. So we can see today on the social media era where the aesthetic and luxury are to put on display simply to gain likes, often to fill our own the moral void. The 2013 film adaptation feels incredibly relatable, although although no, it's a tough. Of course, not everyone is like that. We are still using materialistic culture to signal our social status, much like Gatsby did with his collection of the beautiful shirts. So that's it from us. Thank you.
Thank you.